My husband's life scares me sometimes. Okay, so this is going to be a long one, but at my therapist's recommendation, I'm here writing about my life with my husband. For a little bit of background, I and my husband have been married for 2 years, together for 10 in total. Your typical middle school couple turned serious because we actually fell in love in the strangest of ways. My husband, who we'll call Cole, has always been a bit off. He doesn't do the partying scene unless someone allows both of us to go, and in general, he doesn't like being away from me because, in his words, he feels like trouble follows him when he's alone. And an instance of this is actually what brings my subtle fear of him out, simply because there's so many things he's capable of doing that I don't know about. About 2 years ago, 3 weeks before our wedding, I hear a story about us when we were in high school, and my husband was on a trip to New York. Supposedly, my husband and his friend were out walking around, and someone speaking Italian tried to mug the both of them. And my husband, who I was not aware spoke Italian, speaks back to the man and said something that made the guy scream and run away from them. When I asked Cole what he had said, he simply responded with, "Nothing bad, I just made him aware of the consequences of continuing his current course of action." Since then, I've asked my husband a bunch of questions, and it turns out he speaks 14 languages and has learned a few forms of self-defense, as he tells me. Which is strange because I've never seen him practice any of this or even been made aware he was doing it. Fast forward to last Thursday, and we're inside the 24-hour cafe our town has. The two of us are eating waffles, and I'm cracking jokes while he's studying, and we're having a pretty fun time. When, all of a sudden, a man with a gun walks in and attempts to rob the counter. I say attempts because, in the process, my husband had stood up and started staring at the man. The man turned around and freezes like a flash-frozen icicle the second he saw Cole. The man then places the gun on the counter, says, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend to my husband," and leaves. At this point, I was lost. My husband sat back down like nothing had happened and kept eating while looking at his book. I took the book and asked him point blank as gently as I could, "Baby, why does it seem like every time a situation happens, everyone either calls you to handle it or someone is too afraid of you to do anything after seeing you?" He looks up and says with the biggest grin I've ever seen him make, "No clue. I guess they're just smart enough to not," which left me even more lost. I've asked and he refuses to speak about anything related to my husband unless he's there with us. The same with his parents and sisters. The only thing I've gotten was from his sister, Kay, and she simply said he doesn't like it when someone messes with anything he considers his, and he considers everything in this town his, which has left me absolutely reeling. Like, when did I move into a mystery novel, and who the hell did I marry? I love my husband deeply, but I feel like there's so much of him I don't know, and some of these things frighten me a little. Does anyone have any advice on this situation?